Action! Ready? Welcome to the Fullerwatt. Hold on, wait. Here we go. Ready? Welcome to the Fullerwatt podcast with your host, Gavin Fuller and Chris Watson. Chris Watts. In today's episode, what are we doing? We are going to be talking about the new Muay Thai promotion here in Perth, the MuayThai Super Series. We have 7 WBC bouts up for grabs, 2 world titles, 2 national titles, and 3 state titles. Is that right, Gav?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Well, that was a
Welcome, Bhoondi.
Oh,
welcome, Chris.
Well, let's go.
How good is it?
And welcome back after your holiday, Chris. We flirted with this idea for a little bit. We got a bit of a setup. We did a podcast between you and I, and then I did one with Mark Pease. Mark, thank you for your patience. We'll get you back, but the recording was a bit poor. But now that you're back from holiday, Bhoondi is back from a well-earned break in Thailand. We are absolutely ready to go. And as you rightly say, Bhoondi, we're talking about the first Muay Thai promotion in Perth under the banner of MuayThai Super Series. And as you rightly say, Bhoondi, we've got 2 WBC world titles, both female and male.
Yep.
And we also have 2 national titles. And then we also have 3 state titles. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm really excited for my first promotion under my own umbrella.
So this is
Still promoting the WBC, but this is first show under my own umbrella. I'm very excited. But I'm more excited to have to my left, my counterpart and my punching partner, Chris the Kilowatt. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. How nice is this table just quietly?
Yeah,
it's
we
very
just-
sturdy,
yeah,
isn't
we
it? Who
have
put that together?
we have just. I'm having a beer because we've done a bit of. I've done about
Sweating.
50 rounds this week on the pads. I've worked about 60 hours at work, and we have just put 1 table together, and we put 2 new chairs together.
Oh, the chairs.
And
Look at this.
Bhoondi has helped to set up the podcast Rode Procaster equipment. So we guys.
It's
A
following
bit of time. What are we on? Like 5:30. We said, we'll be ready for 3:30. So
Yeah.
if you plan for something, always make sure you have 20 or 30% contingency,
it's
right?
very on brand for us to have all the gear and
No
what
idea.
it looks
No
like.
idea.
Absolutely.
Very much like our first one. But we've
Absolutely.
graduated from
Yeah.
your living room to
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
gym with a desk.
And our
everything else.
first and our first podcast with Liam Harrison when we kept dropping off because you were in Italy with the internet connection.
To be
Hold on,
fair, I
wait,
think that
wait,
was
wait.
your internet.
Was that my
not mine.
internet? And Liam kept saying, when are you going to bloody ask me a question? So that was quite good. So hopefully when we have Liam here, Liam Harrison's coming from the 5th of November onwards to the
Nice.
22nd of November. So
Yep.
we'll hopefully get him in for a
podcast.
a podcast.
A podcast.
As well, yeah. So he's got a week in
Podcast.
Perth, then he's going to Melbourne and Sydney, then back to Perth.
Now,
Let's
let's
go.
get into the Muay Thai Super Series card, mate. We're going to just talk about the WBC fights.
Yep.
Well, let's start with the state titles, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Let's
one do you-
start with
which
the
one do you
junior.
go?
I reckon
The
we start with the
juniors.
juniors girls, the junior girls.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll step into that a little bit. So Nina Turner I've known for quite some time now, and she's gone to the Thai boxing pit and she's transitioned really well. She's come around. Me and Chris were both.
We commentated that, didn't we? Yeah,
commentating, yeah.
for
me and
her
Chris-
last fight.
Me and Chris were commentating on the girls.
Yeah, she fought
was the promotion, Chris? On
It was
Big
the girls.
Bosses?
Yeah, it was the all-female show, wasn't it?
What was the
That's right.
promotional name?
Yeah.
Let's fight
The
back.
Takeover.
The takeover, right?
Yeah.
The takeover. That's
From
Jesse's show,
presented
yeah?
by WA Female Muay Thai.
Muay
So
Thai.
WA
Took me
Female
too
Muay
long
Thai,
to
yeah.
think about that.
No.
It's
That
your
was
wife.
long, I think it
That's
was
your-
August. Was it August, Chris? It was in August. And that's where me and Chris got the idea, actually, and our silhouette and our logo was we were both taking time to do the podcast, and we took a photograph and we took the silhouette, and that's what we've used for Fullerwatt podcast. But in answer to your question, Bhoondi, we were watching Nina and was very impressed with Nina, and she took home the MTA Junior State title. But as me as promoter and also the sanctioning body for WBC in WA, I'd never done an under-18 title, and it was always one of the things that I wanted to do, apart with probably 5 or 6 years ago when I started to do the WBC under-18 sparring days and stuff, but it got too big. But I've always wanted to promote the WBC for under-18s, and Nina was a very big advocate for me trying to get her onto onto the show. But also in dovetail of that, I also was watching Amity Dudley for a few years, and she's really impressed me.
Where's she
But
from?
She's from Pitachai Gym, from Rhino's Gym,
from
so
Rhino's
she's
Gym,
very
yeah.
good. She's very good in the clinch. But she also went.
gonna be a clinch
She also went away with the IFMAs, and she did really well in the IFMAs.
Yes,
so
yes, correct, yeah.
you know, so hashtag no politics. So we watched we watched Amity, and I was really impressed by her. And I also thought, you know, I was really impressed with Nina back in earlier in the year in August. So I really wanted to put that title together. So I spoke to both camps, and they both said yeah, and we agreed super featherweight state title. So I think both girls have got a very bright future, win, loss or draw on the night, and I'm really excited to be able to bring my first WBC junior state title to the show, but also for the under 18s, and also with a female, first female card state under 18 title as well. So I'm really proud of it.
Is that the first fight of the night? Of the pro card?
No, it'll be first. Not first fight of the pro card, but it'll be the first title that goes out
First
on the
title
night.
that goes
Yeah,
out, yeah.
exactly.
You've
Yeah,
got- mate.
but we're going to give them a bit of a platform. But I don't want to daunt them too much. If I'm honest with you, I did actually think about putting them on the pro card, but I didn't want to daunt them too much with a big, large sizing crowd.
Yeah.
So, but I also believe that they need to go up. You know, I've got about 9 amateurs on the card, so I'm going to put them up high up on the amateur card, and then we'll have a bit of a break, and then we'll go into the pros.
Straight into the pros. But let's...
Because it can be a bit daunting. Sorry, it can be a bit daunting when you're, you know, the card. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of her. She's got a good work ethic, as I said, good long distance style. She's got a good clinch style as well, but also Amity's got a very good clinch style. So
gonna be,
I think
I'm looking forward to
me
that.
personally as promoter, when I match this, I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, so am I. Let's get into the next one, boys. Let's go. I like this one. Goes to Stockwell versus Emmanuel Bastillo.
I'm super excited for this one. I've actually sparred both these boys not all that long ago. And they're a little bit of contrast to styles. I feel like Joe's pretty good scoring and, you know, good with his hands. Yeah, he's
Great
got a bit of
hands,
a
good
boxing
hands.
background. Manny pretty well-rounded, but he's pretty crafty. He's pretty good Muay female styles, doesn't he? He's, you know, really out there. I've actually not seen Manny fight all that much, has he? He's sort of like just... he's very active training and stuff. I feel like he fought up in Darwin just not that long ago.
He beat my old stablemate, one of my old fighters, Jackson Miller, who was unbeaten, and he took him in Darwin and beat Jackson Miller in Darwin. But in aside of that, I watched Jackson Miller on. I watched Joe Stockwell on my last MTGP promotion where he won by knockout. So you know we've been trying to match Joseph for a couple of months now since the May show, but he's been busy and active. Emmanuel, he fought recently and won. I think it was maybe in August as well.
Yeah.
So they were the two young and up and coming.
They're both really strong.
welterweights. Yeah, they're
Sparring
both
them was
strong.
like taking your life in your own hands. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think that it's a real clash of styles. Joe with his strong hands.
Joe's got very good boxing, as you rightly say. He's been
Yeah.
at Riddler's now for I think maybe 6-12 months now. Sorry
Yeah.
if I forgot that wrong. I
think
he's
it's
been
6
about-
months or so, yeah.
Been 6 months, 9 months or so. Yep. So he's selling into Riddler's now. And Emmanuel, I think he had a couple of years off, but he's had a fight of recent. He had a win in Darwin, a big win, and then he fought on Murray McKenzie's show. And now he did a really good performance on that. And now So I watched them both, and they were the both two in the state who were ready for this super welterweight state title. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one too. It's a great match.
Yeah, no, it is definitely. That's an exciting one. That's maybe my pick for fight of the night, I reckon.
Fight of the night?
Maybe,
Ooh,
yeah.
interesting.
Heard it here first.
Interesting.
Just I think the clash of styles, and
Yeah.
I think they're both hungry for it. I
Absolutely.
reckon that might be fight of the night.
Wow. Interesting.
All right.
What do you think, Bhoondi, on that one?
I don't know. Like, Joe's a good friend of mine. So Joe's a good friend of mine, so, you know, I'm leaning...
You're staying on the fence?
Bhoondi,
No,
yeah.
I'm gonna stay on
Watch
the
you
fence
get
here.
splinters there, mate.
That's all good.
I'm getting splinters. I'm going to get splinters, but like, I can't pick a winner here.
Beautiful.
I-
That's what I try and do with matchmaking. I try and make them.
Yeah.
I try and make them as 50-50 as I can, if I'm honest with you.
But I'm looking forward to this next fight. I'm a big fan of Shahwar Jin down at Albany. Bloody good fighter, great IQ, very nice, beautiful Muay Thai. He's a great Muay Thai exponent. So this is going to be Corrigan versus Shahwar Jin for the WBC Super Featherweight title. And I think it's, these two it's going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I think this one that goes underneath the radar on the card, if I'm honest with you. But again, when I looked at both fighters of recent, I watched Shahwar on good friend size Roots show. And I think, was he on Roots or on Rebellion? Sorry.
He was on the Roots card.
On the Roots
He was on the Roots card,
He actually did an amazing performance.
Against Matty Packer and
he won all three. He won all 3 rounds for me. Did really well. I messaged Rob Lovett after and said, "Is he injured?" Because I want to get him on my show. So you know, when you're a promoter and you're waiting for the outcome and you're waiting if to get injured or not. So I was on 10 Hooks watching the show. So big shout out to Sai in Melbourne. But yeah, that was a great fight by Shawad. And I think Shawad fought on our previous promotion in TGP a few times. So I've always watched him. I've really liked his style. And as I said to Rob, I want to really, help build his future. But on the other side of that is Reece Corrigan, who's been on a bit of tear of late, So between both boys, it's going to be a very, very interesting...
Which gym is Reece from, sorry?
Reece Corrigan is from Sway Muay Thai.
Sway, he's from Sway,
Yeah, so Carl's been working... Carl's a very good coach. He's been working with him. He's been working with Reece pretty much, the last couple of years. So this is going to be a very interesting state title fight. And I think both boys deserve this crack. And I think, to be honest with you, they'll both have a bright future because they're still both very young, very
early in their careers.
Winning and losing, it doesn't really matter. It's about the experience and then going on to the next one.
Chris, I am going to call this fight of the night.
You reckon? Yeah, I was thinking. Actually, when we called it, I was like, "Is it too early?" I went pretty early on my call.
So you both got.
I'm going to stand by it.
You're both going for Shawar, and me and Darius used to do that quite a bit. This one's farther than that, and Darius goes, "No, this one's." We used to argue all night.
But I'm looking at the rest.
Big shout out to Darius as well. Hope you well.
Shawar,
I think we've gone a bit too early, Chris.
Yeah, I probably called the good call too early, but
we've gone way too early. We've still got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more WBC.
Shawar is fantastic though, isn't he? He's like such a hard worker.
Beautiful technique.
Yeah,
Reece Corrigan's got a nice technique as well. So again, when I try and matchmake, and I know it sounds very cliche and cheesy, I always try and make it.
Reece is a good Scottish bloke.
As very close as I can. He is. That's right. He is.
From Glasgow is Reece, I'm pretty sure.
He's from Glasgow.
Yeah.
He's from Glasgow.
Yeah.
Are you from Glasgow as well?
No, I'm not. But
he's from Aberdeen.
Yeah,
Aberdeen.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's a hard worker.
Aberdeen.
All right.
So you both are going for that fight? You're both going for
that fight?
No. I want to change my mind.
You can't change your mind. You've already said it.
Joe and Manny, I think, fight of the night, I reckon.
You think Joe Stockwell versus...
I think so.
Joe
never in a boring fight.
Who's the next one you're calling out?
Well, the next fight's going to be for the national belt.
Yep.
The next fight will be the WBC national lightweight title.
We've got Anthony the Sniper Gilbert versus Nathan Embleton, the dreaded one.
Isn't Nathan the...
Nathan is the national champion, and we've had quite a lot of people, who have forgotten about Nathan, and a lot of people say Nathan's style is controversial and whatnot. But you know what? Everybody who he's fought he's had a really good contest against, and a lot of people have not wanted to fight Nathan
because of his style.
A lightweight, And speaking to Shane a couple of weeks ago, he really wanted me to project Nathan into the international scene, and I said, look, we need to get back out there fighting for a national title against Anthony Gilbert. Anthony Gilbert came up short at 63.5 kilos against Liam Cunningham earlier in the year, but he did a really good. I think he was like it looked like it was 1 or 2 weight categories above his own category.
I think he fights like pretty much anyone, doesn't he? As long as he can get fights.
He's really busy, and I actually looked at the fight when I watched it, and I thought, is he really a 63 or super welterweight fighter? So I actually spoke to their camp, and they went, no, he's normally a 61. So I'm really happy to be bringing him back down to 61, where I think he's at. And I think to be honest with you, he's very tough and he's very durable, which you need to be against. You need to be against Nathan Embleton because he comes at you with pressure.
I wonder if you're sitting down, right? You're super
just comes
coach.
at you.
Yep.
You're sitting down. You got a fighter, 61 kilos, about to fight Nathan Embleton.
What's your strategy?
What's the strategy?
My strategy would be to clinch.
Clinch, you reckon?
Clinch.
Yep. Take away the elbows, take away the aggression.
Yeah.
Lock him into.
Does it matter where you clinch? Could you clinch him on the ropes, or does it matter? Because when I see him,
it's all about. For me, it's all about saturation of energy. Really taking away. Really, for me personally, if I was fighting him, it'd be like taking away his distance, stopping his hands and his elbows and his kicks, and then really taking him to the clinch and taking away his battery, and then like taking him to latter rounds in terms of what you normally do.
Easier said than done, though. Easy,
absolutely.
I've been at fight shows and I've been like, pretty tired. I've been like, I'm pretty tired. I might go home, and then I'm like, oh wait, Nathan's fighting. I'm going to stick around and watch a little bit more.
Yeah, but how good was the fight last time against Nathan Embleton and Matt Diesel?
That was a great fight.
I had to literally, just so you both know, I had to literally throw away the MTGP rope covers because they were so like encrusted not bloody, encrusted is the word in blood, and I couldn't clean them out. But it's also lucky that we've had a new rebrand, so we don't have to use them anymore as well. So it's kind of like a two-pronged thing. But yeah,
Did you keep them?
No, I might cut one off and give it to Nathan if he wants it
Probably
as a
put it in his
souvenir.
Mong Kong or something, I reckon.
Yeah, in his Mong Kong, but it was absolutely splattered with blood.
Yes.
Far out.
But when you're talking about like the tactics to overcome Nathan, Nid, when he fought Nid in domination,
Yep.
Ned he was doing what you were saying, but like you said, it's easy to say, but hard to do. But he was negating it, but then it was that,
And I also think that was a bit of a controversial one.
It was
with
the headbutt.
what was it, the headbutts? Yeah. So as part of WBC rules and regulations, we have asked all fighters to tie the hair back, so there'll be no dreadlocks out there. So we've asked him to tie
all the way back,
the way back, so you can see it. And obviously there's no jewelry and stuff, but we've asked Nathan and Shane complied with that to say he has to have his hair back. But also, I think on the back of this fight, Nathan and Sipperweight have got a rematch in December on Domination.
On Domination
so
again,
very exciting again, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm interested to see the outcome of this fight, and then also watching Nathan versus Sipperweight rematch number 2. So,
right.
exciting again, Bhoondi.
So who you reckon who's going to win this fight, mate?
Oh, again, as a promoter, I'll put my self on the fence. I think that, again, when I try and match, I think it's a 50-50 fight. As I said earlier, I think Liam Cunning was 1 or 2 weight divisions above Anthony Gilbert when I watched that fight last time. But I think coming down to 61 kilos, I think Nathan is more relentless and durable. But I think Anthony Gilbert has got smart, so I think it's going to come into the latter rounds of the fight, rounds 4 and 5. Who's going to win it? That's just my opinion.
Did he fight Liam Cunningham with 4-ounce gloves? Was that a 4-ounce gloves?
No, that was
in the cage?
no, that was on Murray McKenzie's show, Fight Night. So,
right.
So I watched that, and it was a cracker of a fight.
Right.
Next fight.
Yeah.
Who have you got next, Bhoondi? Oh, we've got the heavyweight title up for grabs, mate. We've got Perth's own Ashby Tink versus the I call him the Tyson Fury of Muay Thai, Blaze Taylor. That guy, honestly, he's got some IQ. He doesn't look like an athlete, but man, can the guy move?
He moves like a middleweight. He's good.
But, mate, he moves. He doesn't look it, but
I said the other day he moves like a welterweight, to be honest. His footwork and his movement.
Mate.
So for me, I think it's Ashby Tink's brute force, but Ashby's also very technical. But Blaze and Ashby, to fair play to him on his interview with Muay Thai Vault, said he's very slippery and very slick. So for me, again, as a promoter, I've watched both boys. I've seen Blaze at the WBC games when he won the gold medal. I watched him up close.
Absolutely
You were there, Bhoondi was, so. And that was always on the back of my mind to try and get and promote that fight.
You've always wanted him over here.
Yeah, exactly right. My good friend Aram, I'm good friends with Aram.
Is he coming over?
Yeah, big shout out.
Big shout out, Aram.
Big shout out to Aram and
1774
WBC promoter on 1774 and Sitsu Shun Jim. Very good friend of mine. Known Aram for a good lot of years now. And we watched Ashby at the WBC games in February, and he really impressed me with his IQ and the whole pads for him, and put him at FA Group when he was training out there in Thailand, and he won the gold medal. So that was a fight that was always on the back of my mind, because we had Ashby versus the boy from New Zealand, and Ashby came out of that fight very, very strongly. And and a lot of people don't think about it, but Ashby's got a very good IQ as well. And again,
he's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around for a while now. And again, when it comes to promoting, again, I'll put my hat on the line and stand on the fence, but I believe this is a 50-50 fight, and I can't wait to see it unravel. It's a great fight. And
I'm changing my mind. This is fight of the night.
To be honest with you, it's my fight. It's my fight of the night.
Oh, Gav's fight of the night. Here we go. We've all picked one now.
Yeah. No. You changed your mind twice, you two. I've actually said to a few people, like, this is my fight of the night.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this one. I love the heavyweights because it can instantly change, as you know. But between both boys have got beautiful styles.
And both move so well.
They're for heavyweight, as I said, for heavyweights they move like super welterweights or middleweights. But again, I'm a big fan of both boys. I want to promote both boys, and I can't wait to see how it unravels.
Ash, I think, has always
That's
struggled.
my honest opinion.
Ash, I think, struggled to get opponents, especially in Perth. But I feel like, I only follow him on Instagram and talk to him when I see him now and then. It feels like he's very dedicated to training. And I think, regardless of him having maybe, a long time between fights, he's always fit, always strong, always, he's not just like blowing out in between fights. I think he's really
a gentleman.
hones on his craft. He's a really nice dude.
He's a lovely chap.
That'll be a cracking fight. What's on the line?
Big shout out to Darren Riddler as well for accepting this fight and getting his fighters ready.
Yeah.
And also to Aaron for taking this fight as well, because both gyms have to agree. And as I said, as a promoter, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Well, you look at the caliber of sparring partners that Ashby does have. When Alex was fit, Alex Roberts, George Mann, Mika Michael,
Vinny,
and Vinny as well. I mean, Jesus.
There's a few of us as well. They're all in the WA mix helping each other out, which is really healthy and nice to see, right?
I always say this about Western Australian Muay Thai. Iron sharpens iron.
That's exactly right.
I obviously don't say it much because I fucked it out.
Rolled off the tongue beautifully.
No, iron sharpens iron. And that's what we do have here in Perth. The ecosystem of Muay Thai that we do have in Perth is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just for example, when COVID was around, you guys had a show. I was back in Melbourne and the shows were still great. And you never dropped off. The level didn't drop off in COVID. But I digress.
Fought in the first show back. Oh no, first.
You did, Chrissy.
Wasn't it?
You fought George Mann. You fought George Mann.
Did you fight George Mann, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh my fuck.
Absolutely did. He's got the Boone shot still. You got the blue Boone shot still.
Little shout out to Riddler and James Bertolami, who just did the 100 rounds.
How good do they still look?
Oh mate.
Yes, we should have.
I did like 5 or 6 rounds. Oh, no, that's a lie. I did 2 rounds with James, and he was on round like 57, and I was breathing out of my arse. And he was like talking me through it, like it's okay, bro. Like he was coaxing me through it.
He does
the ultra marathon.
And Daz far out looked fresh as a daisy, didn't he?
Yeah. So I did a video of Daz. I think he was about 82 or 88 rounds in, and Darren was still going strong. I think Darren's about 52, 53 now. He's a little bit older than me. Darren, an apology if I got that timeline wrong, but
here's an idea.
But he was unbelievable. I asked him at the end, why weren't you doing your switch kick anymore? And he said, I've been throwing it about 1 million times. I had to switch it out to the right kick. So as everybody who knows, if you're a golden era style and you know your Muay Thai history in WA, he was switch kicking a lot, but he got to the latter rounds, he was using his right kick. But, big props to both of them. And I think the Muay Thai community came out, as you rightly said.
Yeah, they did last week. It was a great day.
I spoke to Dave, and Dave was very humble for the support. So it was absolutely fantastic.
I saw Dave chuck the gloves on too.
He did, yeah.
He gave me a touch-up boxing. He was like, Chris, do you want to do a round together? I was like, oh, here we go. And he touched me up, I was like, what's going on here?
Apparently, George Mann said to Dave, you're the first person that's hit me enough. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's what Dave said.
Okay, here's an idea, boys. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
What about we approach, I have approached Kevin. We approached Kevin Yoon, and we have a WBC Veterans League.
Oh.
I said this when Dave...
With like an RWS format with open scoring.
Dave and Darius did a round together, and I said, "Oh, here we go. This is Masters Muay Thai. This is what we need."
Do you reckon we should have a sloping ramp where they walk out on the wheelchairs and with flames and stuff, and then we just save their energy so they don't do the ring walk out. We put them on the wheelchair, slope them out, and then bring them into the ring with some flames and some 1990s hip hop music, but not P Diddy.
Not P Diddy. And baby oil. No baby oil.
Not tiger oil. Baby oil.
No baby oil involved.
We should maybe move along that.
And we digress.
We digress. Keep that in, Bhoondi, because that's quite funny.
For sure.
We digress. Okay, let's hop into the world titles now, guys.
Ooh.
Okay,
have we done all the state titles?
We've done state titles, we've done national titles.
Yep.
And now we're into the world titles. So the world titles will be...
Should we go girls first?
Yeah, we shall.
Yeah.
It's a co-main event. It's the co-main event at WBC Super Bantamweight World Title.
Ooh.
It is our very own Bryony Soden from Three Lions versus Selina Flores from the US of A. I think Hawaii, maybe? Anyway, we'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. Yeah, from the US of A. I mean, WBC USA, man, they're doing great things. Patrick Rivera.
Absolutely.
You were just over there.
Yeah, we saw how dominant the WBC amateur for USA was, and they're going to be a bit. I said to Kevin, they're a bit of a sleeping giant. I think
They
in
are.
the next not sleeping giant because they're progressively working in the background, but in the next 2 to 3 years,
Pat's working
I think
so well.
USA are going to be absolutely huge when it comes to Muay Thai. They get a lot of government funding. They send their fighters to the amateur games. The
The
is-
Muay Thai Development League from Patrick as
Absolutely,
well. That's
yeah.
great. That's
Then you
brilliant.
also have Warriors Cup where we went to
Mate,
with my
great
good
show,
friend,
world
my good
class.
friend Christian Tran. We were in Queens in New York, which was quite interesting and a bit risque, but it was pretty good promotion, well matched. Yeah, and like as I said, I think the USA are going to be up there in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
I really do.
I've always said this about World Muay Thai. If Muay Thai is to become popular outside of Thailand, we need America to really take the mantle.
Absolutely. If you look
really
at the,
take the mantle.
if you look at the population to help us grow the popularity of the sport, and I think they're up there now. If you've seen some of the WBC grading in some of the gyms in America and the good work that, as you rightly say, Patrick Vieira's doing.
Yeah.
Matt Lucas, hey Matt, he does a lot of.
Shout out to you, Matthew.
You just had one championship in Denver. As well.
Absolutely. And Matt Lucas, he does a lot of road tripping with some of the superstars around America. So yeah, I think everybody. I said it post COVID. I said in the next 2 to 3 years, the sport is just going to go for the roofs. And I think, now we can really see it from grassroots. I think it's New South Wales and Queensland. We've signed Andrew Panham. They match against each other in the amateurs.
You've got the Victoria versus New South Wales.
Exactly. So the amateur scene's coming up through each of the countries now.
Yeah.
The pro side, the fights are getting bigger. Then when they get really, really serious, they're going to RWS and to 1FC.
Yeah,
so the platform's incredible.
Yeah.
Talking about RWS, I think was Flores' last fight on RWS. I watched it.
Selina Flores.
Selina Flores was the last. I just watched her fight on RWS. I don't know if it was the last one.
I don't know if it was the last one. But
Pretty strong though. Good
She's very
teeth.
popular.
Strong. She's very strong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
long
she's very
legs.
strong.
Thank you, Chris. Let's get into that fight.
Sorry, let's go. Let's go. We digress.
We
Long
digress to
teeth.
talk about,
Yeah, she's a big kicker, isn't she? Like, you know,
Big switch,
Good
left
tips,
kicker,
big
good push
kicks,
kick.
yeah.
She won gold at the WBC
Absolutely.
tournament.
Yeah,
in
she
Feb.
did. Yeah, she was in
silver
February.
medalist in the IFMA as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, she's got
Active.
she's got very good pedigree.
Yeah.
She's very marketable. I think she's got about 70,000 fans on Instagram and stuff. She's
She's got
Fullerwatt's got a bit of way to go to catch her then.
exactly. Yeah, exactly right, Chris. We've got to go out there a
She's
bit
a very
harder.
marketable.
She's very marketable, but
Yeah.
also as well, but can fight
Yeah.
exactly. But,
That's the
but
big thing is you got to back it up.
you got to back it up. That's exactly right. So I think this one's going to be it's Australia versus America.
Okay.
We're going to do the WBC for the WBC for the world titles. We're going to do the national anthems.
Nice.
That's what we should do.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. So yeah,
has
I've
to be
really
done.
I've really thought about that in the last couple of months. But to be honest with you, again as a promoter, I'm not just going to say it. Bryony came short last time against John Popskill from the UK for the world title. Hannah Brady,
Hannah
you remember?
Brady,
At 57, at 57, which I felt was a little bit, a bigger weight for her. She's now dropped down to super bantamweight at 55, and now
Isn't she the international?
she's the
belt?
WBC international belt. She fought the girl from Ireland from Masda Gym.
Mazda, yeah, Emma.
Yeah, she fought Emma on our show in May, and after she won that fight, I said, right, Dave, let's see who can find for her next. And then I looked through the rankings and activity and stuff. We've managed to get Selina Flores, who I think is ranked.
Coup. That's
I think,
good.
yeah,
That's
I
a
think
good one.
she's ranked number 5 or number 6 in the WBC. I think Bryony's number 1 or number 2. So yeah, it's exciting.
No, I'm excited about that one. That's going to be
Maybe
fight
number
of-
7. Maybe number 7. Sorry.
That's going to be fight of the night, boys.
Is that for you? Is that you going for?
It's
Is
going
that,
to be fight of the
is
night.
that you calling all fights of the night, or is that just your fight of the night for that
I'm
one?
hedging my bets, mate. Look,
You're
look.
hedging your
I'm
bets. You're
on
going-
the
He's in charge of
fence.
editing, so
He's in charge of
he'll
editing,
just
yeah.
pick what one he reckons is
I
best.
like
bang.
it. I like it, Bhoondi.
You like
But
that?
I'm just making sure everybody knows on the record. Mine's Blaze and Ashby.
Yeah,
Mine's
well,
Joseph and
I think
Manny.
after
Joseph and Manny.
like,
Sticking with
Who's
mine.
yours, Bryony? You got it.
He's got
who's his
Corrigan
yours?
and Shawa.
Who's his
no,
yours,
I'm going to
Bhoondi?
go. I'm going because I'm a massive fan of Shawa.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
a massive
right,
fan
yeah.
of Shaz. Massive.
Beautiful.
He's a Burmese.
He's a great,
boy.
humble boy.
He's Karen. He's from the Karen tribe, mountainous people of Burma.
Yeah, I know
So
it.
tough, and mate, I've watched him from the beginning. Well, not from the beginning, but from his amateurs.
Beautiful.
And I love his style.
Good to see the story, right?
Yeah.
No, it's good to see the story unravel of them as a fighter, as an amateur, and a pro. He also messaged me and said, "Look, Gavin, thank you so much for coming.
It's a nice chat.
Thank you for letting me come onto your show." So it was a very nice message because sometimes you do a lot of hard work, and
he comes from a great gym too.
Absolutely,
Robert Lovett is doing great stuff down in
Albany.
Down in Albany, mate.
Yeah.
And
big shout out to Rob and Rob Lovett. They've actually sponsored our show.
I have that. I can see that. There you go.
Probably doing great things to the community down there. Because I think if you didn't have a gym down there, a lot of those boys like Shua and that, what would you do? You wouldn't be doing Muay Thai. That's
probably running riot.
For sure.
Look, we digress. Fuck it, let's go. I was down there for his show, and like the whole community comes out. There would have been about 1,000 people.
Wow.
1,000 people, and then like every time one of the Lovett boys fight, the whole crowd got up.
Yeah.
It was like even the kids, they were waiting for the high fives and for autographs. So they're part of the social fabric of Albany.
Yeah.
Which is great, which is fantastic. So that was the Bryony Soden and Flores fight.
We didn't really talk about Bry.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Bry. You want to talk about Bry?
Bry's a beast.
Yeah, no, Bry's a beast. No, we did. We have.
No, I just said that Bryony. If you listen to what I said Bryony just won the WBC International belt against Emma Russia from Masda Gym, which was a great fight.
Yeah,
and I think, to be honest with you, as a promoter and as somebody looking at size and weight and Bryony, I think Bryony is best suited at super bantamweight, which is 55.
Yeah.
Personally,
she's been very active as well. She's always active.
But again, as a promoter, I think 50-50 fight. Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Can't wait for that.
Fight of the night.
Fight of the night for you. Fight of the night.
All right, let's get into the main event of the card. Luca Falco,
champion in recess.
Yeah, champion in recess. He was injured. This is fight young Alfie was meant to have for his world title.
That's right. You interviewed him a few times as well.
Yeah, I know, mate. He's my favourite. And he's Perth's favourite son as well. He's one of Perth's own. He's adopted Perth boy.
Third time here?
Third time here,
no, this will be his third fight.
Yeah, how good is his walkout?
Oh, mate.
Just quietly.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the top.
It's got some swagger.
It's got some
swagger.
Yeah.
It's got some swagger.
Top 4 or 5 walkouts, I reckon.
So Alfie is defending his belt. I mean, Luca
against the champion in recess.
Champion in recess. This is the fight that's meant to happen.
So it's southpaw versus southpaw.
Oh my lord! And they both kick hard and hit hard, mate.
Right.
When you said Matt, Tommy was saying the other day that he was holding the pads for Alfie, and he goes, "Oh my god, it's my arms." My arms are still hanging.
I heard a story about you holding pads for Alfie, Gav.
Yeah, there's a video. I think Tom put it up. He kicked my pad and then missed the pad and ricocheted my forehead and like put me on cloud 9. I was on. I felt like I was on. What do you call it? Amazon Web Service. I thought I was on the cloud.
Is there a video going
if Amazon Web Service want to sponsor us, it hit me on the head and it hit my glove and then pinged off and hit my head. So I was like, shit, I feel like I'm in the clouds. I feel like I'm being sponsored by Amazon Web Service here. But yeah, very strong boy. I don't mean to be cheesy, but Luca Falco, probably not a lot of people know about him or watched him, but he's a very, very, very strong. And he's not the challenger; he's the champion in recess. Let's call it.
So he's not the challenger. Sorry.
No, he's the champion in recess.
Yeah.
He humbly, let's call it out. He humbly relinquished his belt so Alfie could challenge for the belt against the boy Anthony Perot from French Island, and the winner was then given the go ahead to fight. Luca Falco, yeah.
Luca Falco.
So he could have held on to his belt or really like dug his heels and said, look, I'm not relinquishing it. But as a true professional, he said, look, I'm going to release my belt and I want to fight the champion. So big shout out to Luca Falco.
What happens when they walk out to the ring? Do they both wear their belt?
That's a good question. I actually don't know that.
And did they just announce them as champion in recess?
Yeah, champion in recess. Yeah,
because I've actually not heard that before. Probably because it doesn't happen that often.
You know what, Chris? You caught me off.
Give their belt up.
No, you caught me off guard. So it's probably a question I'll need to get clarified as a promoter. It's like probably champion in recess versus current champion. So yeah, I guess it's not challenger versus champion. It maybe, it's. Champion in recess,
because I think that deserves a bit of respect, doesn't it? Because he could have sat on that.
But then, if it was boxing, they'd be both arguing who walks out first, who keeps the belts on, what gloves are they wearing. But no, I've not had any of that, unfortunately. But you're probably right. We should probably do it right.
Yeah, because I think that I didn't know that until we just said then. So I think that you should deserve some respect, doesn't it?
Champion in recess, I reckon, Bhoondi.
Champion in recess, is that what you're going to do?
I think we should do that, because he's not the challenger, he's champion in recess. He relinquished his belt.
Champion versus champion.
Nobly.
So how do you think this fight will unfold, boys?
Oh, good question. It's southpaw versus southpaw.
Ooh.
And again, I don't mean to be cheesy, I've watched both boys.
Yeah.
I tried to match both boys earlier in the year. And again, I really do try to match the fights 50-50. And I'm sitting on the fence with you. I think this is a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
I think the old card is a 50-50 fight. Obviously you can predict and see and whatever, but as a promoter and as a matchmaker, I believe that people will walk away at the end of the show going, wow, what a card.
You've obviously had the guys down from Masda and
this week,
had the training this week and what have you. We talked about you getting domed in the head by a kick from Alfie and that.
Yep.
What do you see in their training? What are they doing to produce so many great guys?
Oh, the
And
Masda
girls.
Gym.
Great question,
And
Chris.
girls, you
Masda
know?
Gym. Yeah, well, good question. So, I'll take a bit of a long story to answer that one, but Alex Foreman was a champion himself, heavyweight back in the UK.
Yeah.
He's a very smart, intelligent coach. He likes to play chess, so he knows one or two moves before they even happen, and he's like that in his coaching. He likes the detail, the attention to detail. He's very hard on his fighters, but he wants the best for them. He's got a very young, strong stable of fighters. But I think it comes down to passion, fight strategy, fight planning, togetherness.
Yeah.
And I think that gym, Liverpool's a very close community. It's a very working class community. They all have each other's backs. And when you're in a gym, you just... As a gym, as you know, Chris, you double that and you triple that, don't you? The camaraderie, you have your teammates back. But Liverpool as a city in the UK, they have that abundant, and then when you're in the gym, it probably tenfolds from that.
Not as much as Leeds, though, right?
No. I think it's probably. I've talked to Alex about this, and I think you're winding me up, but I think it's that same kind of culture.
Do you think as well, Alfie obviously has had his last two, this will be his third fight out in Australia. It's a big trek. I mean, you just made the trek out to New York.
Yeah.
Obviously bands the team together a little bit, doesn't it? Do you think
Absolutely.
that, for those guys and girls that come over, do you think that obviously accelerates that a little bit?
Yeah, I think obviously, traveling around the world fighting, if he made his debut.
It's got to bring you together.
He made his debut on One not long ago. I think it was in August. He made his debut on One. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I think it was August. He came up short.
It was August, yeah.
But it was a cracking
August
fight,
too.
and he didn't do himself any justice. His stock went through the roof.
Yeah.
And fighting in 4 rounds gloves, as we all know, is a bit of a different story. But no, I think Alfie, they're already here. They're already 2 weeks. They're already 2 weeks before the fight, so they've come early to prepare. They've acclimatized. He went out to watch the Perth Wildcats with.
Nice.
With Mick from Dreamcar, one of our sponsors. A big shout out to Mick from Dreamcar.
Yeah,
they've come out early. Owen Gillis is here as well. Alex and
We'll talk about that
Kenny
fight.
Carey come out later on. So they're very smart. They travel to Thailand a lot. They fight in RWS. Alex is always traveling around the UK or Europe with his fighters and in Australia now. So they're very acclimatized to the plan and the strategy.
Will Falco train here? Where's he training?
Yeah,
when he comes over?
Falco.
Oh,
yeah.
so do you just time it that they just don't come into the gym at the same time?
Exactly.
So you say like morning, night,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
And they spar each other,
Give them the
Chris.
keys.
a couple of rounds.
Yeah, they watch each other on the bag and take some notes.
I'll
and
never
stuff.
forget. I'll never forget. I was working with champions with Pomon when Dawson and JWP were fighting, and they got the newspaper. The local newspaper came down, and the guy.
It's Australian.
Yeah, was it? I'm pretty sure it would have been the Western Australian, surely. And the guy had no idea about fighting, about anything. And he said, could you guys just do a bit of sparring? And I just remember Dan and JWP just locked eyes, and JWP just was like, no.
We're fighting each other on Saturday.
Literally, yeah. Sorry, you can cut that out with that. But I just
No,
keep it in.
Keep that shit in.
Never ever forget it. They just locked eyes, and there was this moment of like, who's gonna flinch first?
Yeah, and sometimes you can't actually feel that on camera or see that, can you? It's just that you have to be there in the room to actually feel the cutthroatness. when the knife
Serious
when the
business.
knife drops, it becomes serious, right? When you see it at the weigh-in, you know, like a photograph will tell you about the weigh-in and how they're both looking, but the actual, you can feel the cutthroatness or the seriousness or the the lock eyes and a bit of a argy-bargy, as I call it, the alpha.
Do you see? Can you pick the winner from the face-off?
Nah, you can't. Yeah,
You can't,
you look at UFC and everybody trash talks and stuff, and they push each other and they get bashed. So
They try to do that in one.
It all becomes down to
Haggerty
skill.
fucking
It
super
all
leg.
comes down to skill and endurance and strategy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that
Trust the
coincide,
process.
Bhoondi. Exactly.
You
It's not
trust-
just the process, but just strategy, ability, whatever.
I had a bit of an idea, and you can maybe cut this because this is more just conversational.
talk
But
to it.
I had a bit of an idea for the Fullerwatt podcast. I thought, Super Series, you got this fight, and obviously February, we should do like a tipping contest, so a little bit like AFL footy, and email us
And get Palmerbet involved. Palmerbet and only our sponsors.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Can you bet on Palmerbet?
Yeah,
on
no, we
this
brought
show?
Palmerbet on board last time, but we give them the odds, and I made sure my odds on my fighters were the 1 star. So it was a bit of a clean out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. Cut that bit out. But Palmerbet could.
But I'm
be
thinking we
involved.
should do like email us. We got the email set up. Email us your picks, and we'll put them in a thing, and you win shirts or tickets to the next show or something if you pick the next. I want to do something like that, just to be a bit different, get people
No,
involved.
look in the camera. Look in the camera. I'm going to look in the camera right now.
Bhoondi, that's
I'm gonna do
actually a good question. Let's give a gloves and short giveaway for Primo to the person that scores the highest pick for the WBC titles.
Okay,
Do the next
beautiful.
2
So
shows though, because it's not many fights.
I will do. I will.
No, we'll just keep it to this show. Chris.
We'll do tips.
But if you have, I just worry that. So Jess and I play tips. We always pick the same. We're always a draw. You've
No
maybe,
draws, hopefully.
No, but I mean, like maybe 50 people join. If that's only 4 fights, I think do the whole pro card for the next 2 shows.
I think we do a tipping.
Yeah, the next 2 full shows.
Let's
makes people watch the whole show and get involved too.
we're going to do some tipping, but we'll nut out exactly the format of the competition, and then we'll get back to you guys, and then we'll get it going. There's going to be some prizes. Great idea, Chris. Fantastic idea.
Big AFL fan, love me some footy tipping and a little bit of sports bet gambling.
Be responsible. Be responsible.
Oh wait,
Gavin,
Palmer bet gambling. Sorry,
Yeah.
not sports bet.
Gavin,
We can cut that out.
Okay.
All right. So, I mean, the Falco Ponting, it's going to be a great fight.
Again, as I said, I think it's 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
Southpaw versus Southpaw, champion in recess, who
is the
humbly relinquished his belt for Alfie to step away, and then Alfie, as a gentleman, as a champion, has also decided to take that fight again. So it's a great fight. Again, I'll say it 50-50.
Same. That's going to be fight of the night.
Is that you call? How many fights tonight has he got?
7. I've got 7 fight of the night because it's going to be. I'm telling you now,
It's a good
it's
card.
going to be show of the year.
Oh wow, big call. Here we go. Could well be.
After the break, we are going to talk about the rest of the card, the rest of the international fighters, and the rest of the fights that's going to be on this main card. Yeah. All right. See you when I come back. Go do your wee-wees.
Another beer, Chris?
Next fight on the card, we've got Pet Sam Ritt from Cowsock, who just fought Nathan Embleton, who's also on the card in his last fight, versus Gillis. So,
From Masda.
From Masda Gym. Another boy, he'll be down here training with you, Gav. What do you reckon of Gillis for the people in Perth that probably haven't seen him fight, haven't seen him fight live? What do you reckon?
Long and rangy as well, isn't he?
Oh, he's pretty tall for 57, but he's been a bit of, I think he's WMO European champion now. Fought on RWS against Omnoy champion of late. Came up short.
watched
But
that.
that tie was, if you look at the numbers in terms of fights and stuff, it was, pretty astronomical in terms of, fight and ratio. But Owen Gillis is nicknamed the boy Wonderer back home, so...
How old is he? He's only
He's
just
18.
just turned 18.
Do you know what? As much as he's a great fighter, the bit that I really like about
Pad
Owen
holder.
Gillis, he's unbelievable. Yeah. I've watched him as a pad holder, and you know what? There's not many pad holders that really impress me. There's probably a few. Crew Diesel from FA Group, Nontachai, Kiat One Tip, who was at Sito Gym, and then Evolve, and then probably Crusan and Owen Gillis, and the boy's 18. And I can't express it to you, but if you know as a coach and as a trainer, you know, you catch, you know, you can show out, you can throw the techniques out, but he's a catcher. But he, for 18, is probably above and beyond his years and a great pad holder. But also he can fight. But this is a big step up for him versus Sipplewit, 57 kilos. And again, I'll say it, but it's cliche. It's 50-55, mate. It's an absolute cracking fight. As a promoter, I've watched both. I saw Sipplewit lose to Nathan Embleton, but it wasn't a loss.
Yeah.
You know, it was a no contest.
He's tough, man.
You know, yeah. Owen Gillis has fought in RWS a few times. He's won the WMO European title. He fought the French boy who was a former fighter from 1FC. So, you know, Owen's on the trajectory. Sipowit's already well-renowned.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
All I can say is to you, I can't wait for it.
It just keeps coming and coming. These fights just keep coming, though.
But people don't really know unless you know Masda Gym and you know Owen Gillis and you've followed Sipowit. Sipowit is very good. He's very slippery. Sorry, Chris.
No, you're right. I was going to say, do the lads from Liverpool and Masda Gym get around the live stream and have a big watch of them when they come around? Yeah, I can imagine it's probably...
Alex does his research for sure.
Yeah.
He's very fastidious.
It's big fights they're having here in Perth, isn't it? You know,
not just in Perth, just around the world. They're going to RWS.
Yeah, RWS. I watched Owen on RWS.
I think Alfie's going back to RWS in November, and then Owen Gillis is fighting on RWS the next day. So they've got a fighter on one.
Wow.
And then RWS. So as a coach, you can't get any bigger than that, really.
Yeah, be racking up the frequent flyer miles.
Absolutely.
It's a very active gym, Master. I mean,
and they're all very young and up and coming as well. He's got seasoned, up and coming juniors. Yeah.
Well, you have a look at. Sorry, I'm digressing back to Alfie. I mean, look at the record on Alfie. He's not. It's what 20 odd fights.
Yeah. For the standard.
Jesus.
For the standard.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. What's the next fight on the card? We got boys. We done with that one?
It's not a case of next fight on the card, but there's
We've
got Misha Katz versus Saskia Vaughan. We've got Misha Katz coming from Phuket Fight Club.
Phuket Fight Club.
German, Spanish nationality, fighting Saskia Vaughan, former IFMA gold medalist. She was a bit of a phenomenon when she was in her early teens. Had a bit of a backdrop to buy a house, have a job, career and stuff. But she's back, and she's now training with Cal Puglia at Sway Muay Thai. So so I'm really looking forward to this one again.
Mate, Perth is you're bringing a lot of Perth fighters, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know the Masda Gym, they're from Perth.
I'm joking. No, I like to. No, you like to when there's a lot of promotions and stuff. You have to get local fighters versus national and international. And I'm not scared of putting my money in my pocket. And my hand in my pocket, should I say? But also as well, Perth Muay Thai, for people that don't know, is really bubbling. There's a lot of excellent coaches. There's a lot of pedigree. There's a lot of history here.
Mate, of course.
But people don't. If you're outside of Perth, you don't really know about us unless you really watch Muay Thai seriously.
I think the rest of the country knows our pedigree.
The rest, absolutely, yeah. Australia does.
Yeah.
But if you're outside Australia, is what I said. Is like I'm not sure if a lot of people do know the history of Muay Thai in Perth with Pond's Gym, Riddler's Gym, Cowsock Gym, the Pit. Daniel Dawson, kickboxing champion, Muay Thai champion, boxing champion. You've got Blair turning, making Roy, making Toby into a champion. Then you've got Minnie T. You've got Jordan Godfredson.
From Darren's gym.
Then you've got Eugene Eckelboom. The history Riddler. The pedigree in WA is ridiculous.
Did you know about?
And that's what I was trying to say, Bhoondi. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject, but it's like either WA versus WA. I try and promote WA versus other states.
Yeah.
Or it's WA versus the world. That's what I try and do.
That's what I love. That's what I do love. Where were we? That's right. The girls. But okay, what's the next one there, lads?
Yeah. So as I said, Misha Katz versus Saskia, 5-2s. It's going to be a cracking fight.
5-2s.
5-2s, yeah, it's a cracking fight. It's not for a title, so it's 5-2s, but it's an absolute cracker. You got Misha Katz, as I said, from Phuket Fight Club. She trained out in Thailand for quite a long time. I do know she's been very, very busy and active. She's took a couple months off to go travel and do seminars around Europe, and then she's coming back to fight in Perth, and then she's going back to Thailand. So yeah, Saskia,
a little bit of time off, but pretty happy to take this one. I think she was like, no, I want a hard fight back. She didn't want to just slot back into fight nobody. So yeah, this is a big contest, and I've actually been down Carl's when she's been training. She's been doing the right thing, sort of ramping up the training and doing all that. So yeah, that's a cracking fight. That one.
It could steal the fight of the night.
Could be fight of the night. Let's go fight of the night. Boom, boom, boom. You know what's going to be fight of the night? Me and you, Gav. No. Gav.
Masters Muay Thai. Here we go.
Masters, mate. I've never done Muay Thai. Imagine that. Next one, bro.
We've got Malcolm Hill from the USA.
Ooh.
Versus Prabsuk from Khao.
Mate, you are kidding me.
Again, what I'll say to you is people are not really looking at this one. Malcolm Hill is a WBC.
I don't know Malcolm Hill.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know about the USA Muay Thai. Vinny and I, and the rest of some of the GTG team were there in New York, and we watched Malcolm Hill. He's an elbow warrior. He's had a lot of amateur fights, not a lot of pro fights.
Really?
But 2 times WBC national champion against Prabsuk from Khao. He's solid. Very, very strong. As we all know, Khao is a very, very strong gym. They've been training hard, and again, I'll put my reputation on the line. 50-50 fight. Cannot wait for it. Absolute cracker.
The pedigree on Prabsuk though.
Prabsuk is
mate. If
good,
he was
and
still
he's very strong. He looks very angry when you look at him.
It spins me
He's
out.
a bit scary.
But if he was in Thailand still, I reckon he'd be killing it on the stadium circuits, man, for sure. He's still got the skills.
Hill from the same gym as Flores. Hill.
No. New York.
So two different US gyms coming over.
Absolutely, yeah. One on the East Coast, one on the West Coast.
Mate, this is I love what you're doing though. Let's get some more USA. So get the Australian USA rivalry going.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Get that, and then get that American audience onto the Australian audience. Get me over to America. Let's go. Let's go.
I like where you're going, Bhoondi. I like how you got your NASA hat on as well with America flag on it. Yeah.
And I've got my Rams shirt.
Yeah.
I've got the Rams. Let's go.
I hear you, yeah. You know what? I will tell you one of the things that was very humbling whilst I was there. We were there for September 11th. We went for Memorial Day.
Oh, what was that like?
Heavy.
What did you feel like? Oh,
you could feel it. We weren't allowed in till about 3 o'clock because we had both the who's the female lady that's going for it?
What do you mean?
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, Harris is going for it. Kamala Harris, and then you had Trump, and they were both there, obviously at different times. And then it was open to some of the, the fallen families.
Yeah.
And then it was there to the general public, but it was pretty heavy.
That would have been heavy, That's something I still remember. I think everyone
it's yesterday,
remembers.
Right? It feels like yesterday. In another 2 years, it's 25 years. Can you believe it?
Jesus. I still remember exactly where I was. Exactly, and what I was doing.
Yeah. I was at home because I had a car crash when we were travelling. And I was on 2 weeks sickness due to whiplash, and I was sat home, and I can remember it live, and I sat up for 3 days just watching.
Same.
I didn't have any sleep. I just watched it 3 days.
Yeah, I was just overawed by it.
Yeah, it was mental.
It was fucking mental.
It was absolutely mental. But do you know what I would say? When I went to New York, it was, coming from Perth, like with 3, 4, 5 big statue buildings or high rises, like going there, it was like, wow. Everything, I felt like a little small ant that was going to get squashed. That's how I felt.
Is that the first time in New York?
Yeah.
New York.
But do you know what the best bit?
Concrete jungle where we.
Do you know the best bit was, Bhoondi? We went to O'Connell's, which was this Irish bar, and it was like 3 floors up. And we went there and watched the football, had a few beers and burgers.
Yeah,
and it was
you're watching the football.
Yeah, watching the football. And we were sat there with Vinny and his family and his girlfriend and Zane, who came out of us. It was brilliant. Then we did a river cruise and saw Brooklyn Bridge. Saw Statue of Liberty. It was
the Hudson River?
Yeah, we had like a lunch and we got pissed on champagne cocktails.
You sold this to Nicola as a work trip, yeah?
No, absolutely, yeah. But do you know what? I came back. It took me 5 days to recover.
The jet lag?
Jet lag, yeah.
Jet lag's
I felt like I was pissed for 5 days.
You were though, Gav.
I was. No. But I was like, it was literally jet lag. It was crazy. Yeah. But, what an experience as a coach. Didn't get the win, but we did proud. did ourselves
No,
proud.
you did Vinny Dan proud. I mean, like once again, like very young in his career, you know, to be
Third pro fight.
Yeah, to be fighting for an international belt at that on his third fight, mate. That's an achievement. It's got to be the coaching as well.
No, just Vinny's a specimen.
He is a fuck.
If you see him, he's a specimen. It's not
He
down
is.
to me. I'm just a vehicle to get them there. But Vinny was like, you know, he could have pulled down the fight. As I said earlier, for those that know, he was 10 days sick. Went out there, we trained for like 1 or 2 days, and then we did a couple of rounds on the pads, and then he fought. But we lost the last 3. We won the first 2, so 47-48. But it was, you know, it was a great. He now knows where he's at. He now needs to know where he needs to be, and it's up to him now.
Is Vinny related to Michael Wikitora?
Yeah,
the brother.
the brothers, younger brother. It's the younger brother.
Michael in Perth. He was man for a long time.
Michael was
Christopher
in
to the
Michael
mic.
was in the
Don't forget
corner
to the
with
mic.
us.
Oh, was he?
Michael,
Oh, wow, sorry, yeah.
Michael helped him with his fight camp.
Oh, that's
we all
pretty
went out
cool.
to
He
America.
does, yeah.
Yeah, Michael was the man for a long time.
Mike-
He was sick.
and
He
you
had
know
some
what?
good fights in
Do you know
Perth.
what? And do you know the bit that I
They
really
are
love?
so good to each
Do
other.
you know that keep this bit in? Do you know the bit that I really love is like Vinny fought in America. His sister came out.
Everyone.
His dad came out.
I actually trained
Michael
the boy
came
that
out.
fought Vincent in Vincent's first ever fight. And it was the boy that I trained's first fight. And it's funny, isn't it? Those divergent paths. It's, you know, like Vinny's fighting for a world title, and my boy had one fight, international fight, and then the boy that I.
But he
trained,
is silver medalist though.
He is silver medal. Close.
had one fight and then never fought
Close
again.
twice. It's like ugh. As a coach, it's frustrating, but it is what it is.
Michael,
he'll get his time in day.
The relationship with Michael and Vinny is special. It's like when you see him together, and like when Michael's giving advice to Vinny, you can see the love. You can see the intensive of Michael to his younger brother.
I think a big thing when I think about that is, you know, just coming back to, I trained a guy that fought Vincent in both their first fights.
Yeah.
You know, you probably want to train super hard because you could be fighting someone who in the future is going to become, who's like
it's going to be
fighting for a world title or a world champion or whatever.
You don't know that. You don't know that time. But
and I mean,
just
you know,
gotta be
obviously
ready,
at that
right? You just
level,
gotta
the
be
same
ready.
level, but yeah, you've got to train like, you know, you could be fighting
be
the
ready.
next Mike Tyson, you know,
right.
of Muay Thai.
No, that's a valid point. That's why I always say make sure you're 100% ready, right, Chris?
So how many fights do we have on the card?
I think we've got 16 pro fights
16 pro?
and seven amateur. So we start at 2
Yep.
and we finish at 11:30.
And it's all. Do you want to talk about any other fights, or do you want to get straight to the
Payak and
sponsors?
Lawrence, I think.
No. So again.
Payak and Lawrence?
Payak,
yeah, we've got
Sorry,
Payak. We've
yes,
got-
one more.
absolutely, yeah,
Let's
we've
just talk one more fight, boys. One more
We've
fight.
got Payak Samui versus Carter Lawrence. No, but as well as that, we've got Kenny Carey from the UK Masda Gym again.
Yes.
Against the boy.
Masda got 3
Did you just fly everyone from Liverpool
Mazda.
over for this fight?
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
Probably going to get
we
Ferry.
got-
Cross the Mersey.
We've got Kenny Carey from Liverpool. He was originally supposed to fight Phil. He was supposed to originally fight Nilsson Lackey, but he dropped out. So we put Connor, Liam O'Connor.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
dog
boy.
from Monsters.
Monsters.
Yeah, which
Another
is-
great mate.
Again, do you know when you?
Here we go. I'm
we don't-
excited about this one.
again, and I'll say it. You know, like we looked at Nilsson Lackey for Kenny Carey. Nilsson obviously has got the height and range. Nilsson's come off a few losses, not as much fights, but Kenny Carey's been a bit on a tear in the UK. And a big shout out to Mazda and Alex Foreman, and he's won for the future. So we.
So
matched-
was Liam.
Yeah.
Is he matched with Liam?
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And since Liam O'Connor has gone, I was about to say, since Liam O'Connor has gone to Monsters, James Billatami's done a very good job with
Yeah.
him. So, again, I'm very excited for this one. And again, I don't like to say it, but again, with my matchmaking and how I feel about the fights, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Liam won his last fight, 4-ounce gloves, won by push kick to the face, hey?
Yeah.
Liam
Liam
push
Cunningham-
kick to the face. He's a good. I cornered Jay Twomey against Liam on Muay Thai Grand Prix. It was one of the first, maybe the second one after COVID. And yeah, cracking fight. He's a tough boy
Tough,
already.
good IQ.
Yeah,
Loves it. He's a bit of a Muay Thai geek.
Yeah.
Levels, man. The guy's just moving up in the levels, and I'm a big
yeah.
fan of Liam as well. You know, he's just a hard worker, and also talented, and man, just loves the sport.
Yeah.
Loves the sport.
Payak and Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's a big fight too. That's one I'm really excited. That's a sleeper
So
on the card too. You've got loads of fights that are just
you-
sleepers on the card, don't you?
Yeah, people don't really recognise them unless you know they understand the athletes. But again, I'll come back to it. Payak Samui versus Max Mavica, cracking fight.
That was a cracking fight.
Last fill
awesome fight.
last fill in for Payak. Payak came in at the last minute, saved the day, and big shout out to Darren from Calsop. You know, he put us in for that fight. Then we had Payak versus Delman Nelson, and again, Payak was injured.
Yeah.
You know, but
Still came out.
let's not take anything away from Damon Nelson. He did really well on that night. So hopefully Payak will get his time to shine. Third time lucky.
But he won the
With
last-
no
yeah.
injuries or no
And a proper camp.
And a proper camp.
And a proper
Exactly.
camp.
Exactly. But on the other side of that, you got Kyle Lawrence. He won, I think it was a 4-man in Thailand on the Lumpany show.
Wow.
And he's been training FA Group. He's training hard.
Where's the Super Series happening, Gav?
Oh, good question. We are back to our original venue, Curtin Stadium, which is one of my favourite stadium and venues in Perth.
It is good.
Yeah, that's it. And the weigh-in is on the weigh-in is on Friday, and we are in Applecross at the
Shirley Strickland. Is it? The same place where we did the weigh-ins?
No, the one where we did the second weigh-in. We're by the cricket and AFL. The cricket and rugby. The Palomara Club on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know the
Canning
one.
Highway. Yeah, we're just there. Yeah, so 5 p.m.
The Palmyra Rugby Club. The Pigs. Go to Palmyra Pigs.
Yeah, and if anybody's not been, it's all been redone out. You can have a good feed. You can watch the cricket, watch the rugby. It's an unbelievable venue. It's
So
good
after
for
the
a good
weigh-in,
weigh.
so the guys can get a feed after the weigh-in.
If they want to, yeah.
So the weigh-ins are next Friday at 5:30 at the Palmyra Rugby Club.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. I'll put the links, and I'm sure.
I'll send you the weigh poster.
Yeah, I'm sure the links will be in the bio. You want to thank the sponsors as well, bro?
Have we done all the fights? Yep, we've done all the fights.
We've done all the fights. I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
Yeah.
from
Live-
top to bottom in
Live Combat Sports for streaming.
Yeah, live
Yes,
combat
Adam
sport
from Live Combat Sports.
So for anybody who's a retard, don't accept any live combat sport or
Jesus.
What happened there? What happened
Muay Thai
before?
Grand Prix. Fight promotions do not send you friend requests. Fight promotions do not send you friend requests. And I'll say it again. Fight promotions do not send you friend requests. They are just out there. They will send you.
Scammers have gotten pretty good though, haven't they? They're pretty sharp.
The scammers have got pretty sharp. You just do the QR code. You go onto Live Combat Sport. And that's it.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Make sure you buy
The
it from
best,
Live Combat Sports.
the number one combat sport platform in this country. Live Combat Sport.
You don't do any
Fantastic.
QR codes. You do not accept any other a friend request. You just go to Live Combat Sport. It's pretty.
I will put the
it's
links
pretty,
in the bio.
It's pretty. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm honest with you. But in answer to your question, Bhoondi, of course, big shout out to Primo,
Primo
our
Fight.
sponsor. Big shout out to Dreamcar, who've
Ooh,
come back on
new
again.
sponsor?
No, new sponsor. They've been with us for a while now, but big shout out to them for coming back on
Michael.
board.
I'm looking for a car, Michael.
Big shout out to MVS Construction. Big shout out to Sway Muay Thai. Big shout out to Lovett Muay Thai.
Yep.
Big shout out to
Muay Thai Vault.
One Electrical. Yeah, big shout out to Muay Thai Vault. And 2025, I have about 5 or 6 more sponsors to come on board.
Can we
Plus-
do the big announcement for next year?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. On the night, we'll do that.
Okay.
But it's very exciting.
Dana White's going to be helping with the promotions.
He's building firearms gloves. But no,
God bless.
Chris, thank you for your time.
No, thanks,
Absolutely fantastic to see you now that you're back from your holidays in Italy. Let's try and do this every 2 weeks with a guest or a host. And Bhoondi, also thanks for yourself.
Shout out to Bhoondi.
I
He's
love
our-
this. I
Shout
love
out
this.
to Bhoondi. We love Bhoondi.
producer.
Bhoondi
He's
loves
made
this.
everything a lot easier today,
Absolutely.
hasn't he?
And hey, and do you know what? This is the first time that we've been outside our house. So we did one at my house, and secondly, we've done the one in the gym.
Yeah, but have a look at all this equipment.
Yeah,
Moving up in the world, aren't we?
we've got
Chris,
all the equipment.
and Bhoondi, we've got all the gear and no idea. So we are actually really
let's have
happy
let's
that
have
you
a
brought
look
us
at all
on board.
Let's have a look at this equipment here, mate. This equipment's so good, mate. It's like 3.5. You got the mics. Jesus. We got headphones. Look at the headphones, mate. Look at these headphones.
Just a shame about the heads wearing them, but that's all right.
I know.
Thanks
I know.
everyone for listening. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you a lot. Thanks to all the
We haven't
sponsors.
bored you.
And,
haven't bored you.
I'm
All I can say to you
definitely
is
not bored.
all the fights as a promoter for me, I will lay myself on the line. I think they're all 50-50 fights. Obviously, they will unravel. See you next week at Curtin Stadium. Thank you, Bhoondi. Thanks to you as well, Christopher. And good to see you back.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
just wave at the camera, boys. So like, no, here, the camera's there, mate.
I'm autistic. Where are you?
Bhoondi, please.
Keep that in.
Yeah, we're keeping that in.
Please make us look all right.
I'll make you guys look all right. All right, guys. I will see you at the weigh-in. Thanks for joining us here at Fullerwatt Podcast. All right. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.